Hi, Scritty here, demondemon.com, targeting a Facebook campaign, something I've said I'd do for some time. I'm going to go through this part pretty quickly and actually get on to how to do it. So just a bit of background, Facebook's got over 1 billion active users, whether you take those figures with a pinch of salt or not, but that's a decent ballpark. It gives you a lot of control as an advertiser how you target those users. A lot more, whereas Google keep hiding their application calls, Facebook are increasing their visibility to allow you to target even better. Age, sex, region they live in, how social they are, how active they are, and any of their interests that they get can all be targeted by advertisers. So here's a post I did recently, and I'm going to just do a video straight after this doing another one on my Facebook page, which I set up, which is supposed to be a little controversial thing to do with the sport cricket, with this Pakistani spin bowler Syed Ajmal. A couple of ex-England cricketers were commenting on it. It was a bit controversial, a bit cheeky of me to go in that, but you know, you want to stir things up. They got this new orange bar which Facebook introduced a couple of days ago, which you now press and gives you all the details in a lot more depth than it used to, or at least it brings it all into one place. And if you set yourself up with a Facebook advertising account, which all you really need to do is attach your Facebook page to a PayPal page, and I'll link to that on demondemon.com to show how you've done it, you'll get all of this available to you. And the sort of information it gives you is here. So for my $12 in this case, I think it was, it'll come back to that in a moment, I got 3,000 odd clicks, I got shares, I got, blimey, it was huge, 163 likes, 35 comments. The rest of it, the shares are vital because they go off and they keep propagating. You may get people still commenting on your stuff in a year or two's time via the share system. It's shared and it's reshared. Very, very handy. And anyway, I spent $12 to get that, and they're sort of a summary. It reached 32,000 people for $12, of which 1,847 of those people engaged with it. So they clicked on it, they liked it, or they commented on it, or shared it. That's pretty heavy, and that's 1,664 photo clicks. Now, had that photo been linked to my website, I would have had 1,664 website visitors. And the chances are, when people clicked on that photo, they thought they would be being taken to the website. So they're probably a bit disappointed that all it did was just show the photo again, but without any background around it. It didn't really get anywhere. So in terms of per click, that's awesome. That is, you know, divide your 1664 by $12, and it's well under a cent a click. It's half a penny if you're UK roughly per click. It's an excellent sort of reach. That is, which just what is it? No, it's 2/3 of a penny. 2/3 of a penny a click. That's excellent. Obviously, this is a niche that people are passionate about, and people are quite fanatical about their sport and whatnot. But there are ways in which, even if you're selling insurance or vacuum cleaners, there are ways to approach whatever subject that's going to engage people more than other ways. So, you know, that's for your marketing thing to sort out. And I will be adding some marketing tips to the post that goes along with this on demondemon.com. Signing off now. I'll be back in a moment, and I'm going to go through one of these live with you, and then there'll be a day's delay for me, but not for you because I'll do it straight afterwards, where I'll do the results of that post. So you'll see me now setting one up and then running one. See you in a moment. Hi, it's good to hear. I'm back, and I'm going to show you actually setting one of these up. A very quick one. Today is one of the first of the sort of knockout phase of the IPL, which is more cricket. Once again, it doesn't really matter what your interests are or what your niche is. Mine, it happens to be cricket. It does get a good response because it's something that people are genuinely passionate about. It's an overused word for anybody who does a job these days, but you know, people are. So I tend to get a pretty good response for this. But the Kolkata Knight Riders are playing Punjab today, so it's going to be a very, very simple post, and this is all the post is going to say. And I've done it on Notepad first and copied it across, because when you press return in Facebook, sometimes it sends your post, and I don't want it to do that because I want to mess with it a bit first. So who is going to win? KKR Punjab. Will the steady performers of Punjab win the day, or the big hitting KKR win through? It's just a question because I want to provoke response. I want to get a debate going. I don't want to give too much. Part of the reason is the Punjab team I don't really know that much about. KKR, I know it's Gautam Gambhir and whatnot, and I know that James Stewart, George Bailey, deliberate mistake there, posts captains as well. It's a Wonderful Life gag there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a picture, and if you click the little camera button there, it lets you add a picture, and the picture I've got is I've just cut and pasted from an Indian news site this morning. I used there's all my mates down here. It is George Bailey and Gautam Gambhir, and there we go. Now you've noticed, because I've linked my Facebook page to my PayPal account, and I will post on demonDemon.com and link to that, how you do that. It's very simple, and I won't cover it again here because I won't do it as well as Facebook actually tell you how to do it. It's not a complicated process. But once you do that, you get this boost post button comes up, and this is where you can target your audience. Now, being as it's India, and there's 1.2 billion people live there, it's going to be big. But let's have a look. At the moment, it's not. It's set up for this last post, which was specifically Pakistan. So let's clear what's already there. Let's clear everything and start from scratch. Okay. Now the age group, I want 13 and overs. I could put that up to 16 and overs, but I think 13 is fine. No, let's go for 16. 16 and overs. Okay. Because when it comes to it, if 16 and overs are more likely to be able to spend cash than the 13, 14 and 15-year-old, and at some point there will be some monetizing going on with this. Now the countries this time I want is India. There we are, simple as that. And it's just going to, so now it will only target people in India age 16 or over of both sexes. But here's the thing, I want to add interests. So I'm going to add IPL, Indian Premier League. So now it will only target 16-year-old or over in India who in their interests in their Facebook profile have specified that they are interested in the Indian Premier League. Okay, which is still 30, it's still lots of people. It's still telling me $100 will get me in front of between 31,000 and 81,000 people. I would take that with a pinch of salt. I'm only going to go for $5, which still gets me 8 to 21,000. I'm going to put Indian cricket in there as well. I could go broader and just put cricket in there. It would still only target people in India age 16 or over interested in cricket, because it has to be, all of these have to be there. It's that and that and that all have to apply before the person will see my post. So there we are. I'm going to get in front of, I will take this with a little pinch of salt. It tends to be a little bit down on this, but it's suggesting between 8,200 and 22,000, which you'd think would be about 15,000 if it's somewhere between those two figures. It would probably be just under 10,000 though for that $5, which if you're in the UK at the moment is about £2.70. Now you've got two choices up here which I haven't mentioned. People who have previously liked your page and their friends, so it will spread out from those, or people you choose through targeting. And once I've done this, I'm choosing people through targeting. However, what I will say is if you've built up a community and it's in the tens of thousands, if you want to kick at an open door and hit your established user base often, and it's a big user base already and it's even cheaper, then going through your existing community by clicking this option is probably the way to go. But until you get into the tens of thousands or whatever sort of figure you feel is appropriate, then it's definitely better to go targeted down here. So the last update I'm going to do with this, which hopefully will only be a few seconds, will be coming back tomorrow when this is done, seeing what $5 has bought me in terms of an audience, how many page likes I've got, how many clicks I've got, etc., how I've built up my audience doing that. Bearing in mind, again, something I mentioned in the first part, if I'd had a link on this page to a specific product, the sort of dead clicks that people are doing on this image, which doesn't lead anywhere, just to a bigger picture of the image, would have gone through to my page, would have gone through to my website. So let's just see what sort of value that brings tomorrow. Now I've shown you how it's done. It won't be tomorrow for you, it'll just be straight after this. Hi, we're back. It did very, very well. The game ended up being called off, which was a shame. We had 157 likes, we had 15 shares, and I didn't spend, and there's the comments, often people are just saying who they wanted to go to. It reached 10,800, which seems a bit less, but there There we are, 949 clicks. All the rest of it's huge. Once again, the clicks didn't go anywhere, but there were nearly 1,000 of them. How much did I pay for 1,000 clicks that didn't go anywhere? So, $3.15. The reason I only paid so little was because the game was called off and it started to die off. It got down to, my spend got down to about $3.15. I left with about $1.85 left, obviously, because I put $5 on, and it really slowed down because the game had been called off due to rain. Oh, that's cricket for you. So I just stopped it, and I actually decided, well, I'll stick that extra budget into this, and I did this little photo here because I wanted to engage people from outside the Asian subcontinent. So I did this, and I did the little thing. I liked the first 20 people to give the connection between these two gentlemen below, and I just put the excess budget there. And I got a few answers there, and I've got some silly ones. Both have their hands up, both have 10 fingers. Are they father and son? The actual thing is, I'll give you a couple of seconds. No? You'd have to know cricket, and you'd have to know It's a Wonderful Life. That's George Bailey, the Australian T20 cricket captain. At least I still think he's captain of the T20 side. And that's George Bailey from Bailey's Building and Loan from the film It's a Wonderful Life. Obviously, it's James Stewart, really. James Stewart. Anyway, so that's what I did, and so I ended up spending $5, but I did this on a second advert, deliberately not aimed at the same thing. But that's an aside, really. This is the main one I did yesterday. So it works. Underneath this on YouTube, I'm putting a link to my top 10 tips. Hopefully, this isn't the usual top 10 tips crap that you read everywhere. These are the actual rules I follow. It's almost I'm almost embarrassed that there's 10. It sounds like I manufactured 10, when in fact there just happens to be 10 because that's how many I follow. I would, if there had been 7 or 6, that's how many I'd have put, or 11, that's how many tips there would have been. But there are 10, and there are a couple on there which are absolutely vital. And nearly everybody I know or speak to that's failed in internet, in pay-per-click marketing, no matter what portal they use for pay-per-click marketing, has broken one or more of the sort of tips and rules that I put in this. And the sad thing is, most people do fail or quit before they get a success in pay-per-click. I'm not a massive pay-per-click fan. I get most of my stuff through search engine optimization and natural ranking, but pay-per-click is vital traffic generation and brand building, and it can be dirt cheap, but people break these rules. So if you want to see them, it'll only take you sort of 10 minutes to read down it, and this video will be embedded in it as well on demondemon.com, and the link is directly underneath this. My hand's now pointing down to the bottom of my screen, so imagine that if you can. Anyway, thanks for listening to me waffle. I hope you get some value out of this. Scritty signing off.